Alleluia, Alleluia. Everybody sing Alleluia, for the Lord has risen, it is true. Everybody sing Alleluia. 30 years he walked the land. Alleluia, Alleluia. To all in need he lent his hand. Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. Everybody sing.
Hello, welcome to this series of YouTube videos, which is devoted to an analysis and better understanding of the Second Vatican Council. In the past installment, we discussed that a dogma is a truth regarding faith or morals revealed by God, transmitted from the apostles in the scriptures or by sacred tradition, and proposed by the Church for our acceptance. In this installment, we're going to discuss whether dogmas can ever change.
What is truth? Is truth unchanging law? We both have truths. Are mine the same as yours?
I'm going to quote several sources to demonstrate that there's a virtual consensus on this issue. It may be, however, that I might take issue with some of the sources on other topics later in this series. No, the Church cannot change its doctrines no matter how badly some theologians may want it to, or how loudly they claim it can. The doctrines of the Catholic Church are the deposit of faith revealed by Jesus Christ, taught by the apostles, and handed down in their entirety by the apostles to their successors. Since revealed truth cannot change, and since the deposit of faith is comprised of revealed truth, expressed in Scripture and sacred tradition, the deposit of the faith cannot change. The dogmas of the Church are immutable. Objection. According to Cardinal Reinhard Marx, the Church's doctrine doesn't depend on the spirit of the time, but can develop over time. Saying that the doctrine will never change is a restrictive view of things. Cardinal Walter Brandmuller answers, a change of the teaching of the dogma is unthinkable. Who nevertheless consciously does it, or insistently demands it, is a heretic, even if he wears the Roman purple. Along with this, the Catholic Encyclopedia says the dogmas of the Church are immutable. Objection. Doesn't the Bible say that the Pope can change dogma? Doesn't it say something like, whatever Peter binds shall be bound, and whatever Peter looses shall be loosed? The answer from Catholic Answers is, the Church does not have the power to do the impossible, to change or delete divinely revealed truth, which forms the deposit of faith. Rather, the concept of loosing as it pertains to the apostles and their successors has more to do with the Church's ability to dispense individuals or the whole Church from observing certain ecclesiastical disciplines.
God can't change. He is always the same. The Church can't change because the Church belongs to God.
Let's take a look what the magisterium of the Catholic Church has to say about this. God cannot deny himself or ever contradict truth with truth. Now there are very many similar quotes to this, but I'm only going to cite a couple. Nothing of the things appointed ought to be diminished, nothing changed, nothing added, but they must be preserved as regard expression and meaning. So deeply embedded within the dogma of the Catholic Church is another dogma, and that dogma is that Catholic dogma cannot change. This is an important point. It differentiates the Catholic Church and the Orthodox churches from all Protestant churches. Every mainline Protestant church has changed or revised its dogma at least once over the last 100 years, and in most cases much more than that. In our last installment, we discussed how dogma reveals truth. And so therefore, if dogma is truth and truth cannot change, dogma cannot change. This is a priori evidence that Protestant churches are false or not teaching truth. And if you are a Christian, you can only believe there is one true church. It's evidenced by divine law and in Scripture. And if any church, and including the Catholic Church, ever changes its dogma, it can mean one of two things. And the first is either that the church is false, or that the dogma change is illicit, and it must be changed back to what it always had been. So, we'll be back and discuss this a little bit more next week, and in the meantime, please pray for the Church.